Friday to you. I pray that you're doing well this morning. Pray that your Friday's off to a good start. I pray that today you're striving to be like Jesus. As I think about that statement, I think about oftentimes we think about Jesus and love and compassion and kindness and caring. And think about how I need to be more like Jesus. Well, I got to be honest, this morning I feel more like the table flipping Jesus. When he went into the temple and didn't like what he saw and what was going on, and he overturned the tables. And the reality is, Jesus is loving and compassionate, but yet Jesus is serious and can get irritated at times by our lack of what we should be doing for him, and our lack of love and compassion and focus and realization of what we ought to be doing and what's important in our lives and in life in general. And as I was thinking about that idea this morning and trying to exercise a little bit of self-control in all things, I came across this thought in our devotions as I was preparing for Bible class on Sunday morning. And it said this: we must understand that the world will never follow God's plan for sexuality, parenting, and marriage. Even those who only wear the label of Christianity will not. The fleshly temptation is too strong for the mildly committed. That just struck me funny. And it got me to thinking. Because what he's saying there is if we just wear the label Christianity, if we just claim to be a Christian, but we're not really committed, we're going to fall into the temptations of the world and the temptations of this life. What about you? What about me? Are we just pretending to be Christians? Are we just mildly committed? Are we truly trying to be like Jesus, be who he wants us to be, totally committed? Are we rooted in Jesus Christ? This Sunday morning in our morning worship hour, we're going to continue our look at being rooted in Christ. Some of the elements that we think about being rooted in Christ, as we talked about last week, we want to be rooted in him because he gave himself for us. He gave up everything for us. The other side of that coin is we also want to be rooted in Christ because, as we're going to look at this week, he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. I'm the bread of life. I'm the light of the world. All of these things that Jesus says he is all the more the reasons we want to be rooted in him and totally committed to him, not just mildly committed. I pray that you're making plans to be with us this weekend. Bible class is at 9:30. Worship is at 10:30. We have a potluck meal this week. And Roger, there's no apple butter making days this weekend. It's a week away. And then after the potluck meal, we'll be having a time of singing and fellowship and enjoying time spent together as brothers and sisters in Christ. But as we go through this Friday, I want you to think about, are you really committed to Jesus Christ and to his will and his desire for your life? Or are you just calling yourself a Christian? Join us Sunday morning as we see what it really means to be rooted in Christ and why we want to be rooted in him. I pray that you have a good day, and I pray that God will be glorified in all that you do today.